I used to think love looked like service, waking up after a double shift just to make breakfast for people who barely noticed I existed. It's wild, right? I could dice onions in my sleep, memorize ticket orders in 5 seconds, and still forget what my own voice sounded like at home. I'm Julian. I'm 24, from Des Moines, Iowa. I dropped out of culinary school a year ago when my dad died suddenly. Heart failure. Out of nowhere. One moment, we were talking about creme brulee over the phone. The next, I was planning a funeral with my mom. I never went back. I couldn't. My mom shut down, like, fully. My brothers, 16 and 12, started acting out in school, and someone had to be the glue. So I became it. The glue. The cook. The ATM. The emotional wall. I picked up a job as a line cook at Ernie's Diner, working from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m., walking home with pockets full of soggy receipts and tip money. Every night, I'd count it up, $43.20, $58.65. Once, I hit $81 and nearly cried. I kept the cash in a shoebox labeled for school. My dream was simple. Reapply to culinary school once the house was stable, once things calmed down. Spoiler alert, they never did. Every day was the same. I'd get home at 2:30 a.m., maybe grab a shower if the hot water wasn't gone, then fall asleep to the sound of Call of Duty from the boys' room. I'd wake up at noon and start dinner prep, then try to squeeze in a nap before my shift. My mom barely talked to me, unless it was about the rent being late or the Wi-Fi being out. And still, I didn't complain. I told myself this was just a chapter, a holding pattern, that someday, they'd look back and say, Julian held us together. The funny thing is, I was already falling apart. The night before everything changed, I was elbow deep in dishes at Ernie's. The manager, Ronnie, asked if I wanted to pick up Saturday brunch. It was extra pay, $14 an hour plus tips. But I said no. I had plans. Big ones. Saturday morning was going to be special. I was going to surprise them with my dad's famous cinnamon rolls, the ones we used to make together on birthdays. Soft dough, brown sugar spirals, vanilla glaze, crispy bacon on the side. I even bought real maple syrup instead of the cheap stuff we usually use. I stayed up till 3 a.m. making the dough. Let it rise overnight. Woke up again at 6 to start baking. The whole house smelled like warm sugar and memory. I plated everything on our best dishes, even folded the paper napkins into little triangles. I laid it all out on the kitchen table. No one said anything. They just sat down, phones in hand, and started eating. My brothers inhaled the rolls in 2 minutes flat. My mom poured coffee and said, I think I'll make eggs too. She cracked 4 eggs, fried them up, plated them for everyone but me. I thought maybe she forgot, so I waited. But my plate stayed empty. I looked at her. She didn't meet my eyes. I looked at my brothers. One of them laughed. I'd worked all night, woke early, cooked everything from scratch, and somehow, I was still invisible at my own table. That's when something cracked, not loudly, quietly, inside. I didn't cry. I didn't shout. I just stood up, walked into my room, and opened the shoebox. I counted $1,109. Not enough for tuition, not even close, but enough for a bus ticket, enough to leave. And that's exactly what I started planning. That breakfast, the one where my plate stayed empty, was the last one I'd ever cook in that house. And they didn't even know it yet. I didn't say a word that morning, not even when I cleared the table, scrubbing sticky syrup from their plates like a ghost in his own house. My mom had gone to the couch, half watching a church live stream on her phone. My brothers were back on the Xbox, arguing over headset lag. No one said thank you. No one even noticed I didn't eat. I went into my room, shut the door, and locked it, something I hadn't done in months. My heart was thudding, not in anger, but clarity. It wasn't rage that moved me. It was the realization that they'd never truly see me unless I vanished. I pulled out my shoebox. $1,109 in mostly wrinkled bills and spare change. I grabbed my old college duffel from under the bed, shook out the dust, and started packing the essentials. Full story on channel. Link below.